Observation simply means to observe, to see the participants and record the data. In questionnaires and interviews, usually the data is recorded when the researcher directly or indirectly deals or gets in touch with the participant. But in observation, the researcher might or might not get in touch with the participant and simply observe and record the data. What are the advantages and disadvantages and the comparison between all these kind of observations? First advantage of observations is that structured observations are better than the unstructured observations in a way that in structured observation we already know as a researcher that what I am going to study. It's a predetermined thing and I already have operationalized it. I've already, cut into chunks, into, small components, and I know that this is what I'm going to study. So it's more reliable, and also that there is a consistency between different observers. So in that case, structured is better than the unstructured observation. The second advantage of observation is that unstructured observations are good in the sense that especially when I'm planning to do a pilot study. For example, I'm a researcher and I don't really know that what I want to study. I go to this park. I'm not very sure what kind of behavior I'm planning to, study in my main research. So I am just a beginner as a researcher. I go to this park and I consider all kinds of behaviors of these kids in a park. So that is an unstructured observation, which is good in a way to tell me that what I can plan for my main study. Third advantage is that overt observation is a very ethical kind of observation, because in overt observation participants are aware that they are being observed or studied by the researcher. So it's ethically correct. I mean, a participant is a part of a research, so they should be aware, they should not be deceived about it, and if they are informed about it, it's ethically correct. Advantage is covert observations are good, are more reliable, because in covert observation the participants are not aware that they are being part of the study. So when the participant doesn't know that they are a part of the study, they are likely to behave in a very natural manner. There are no demand characteristics and they might not show any kind of social desirable behaviors. So when they are natural, the results whatever comes are true to itself. So in a way the result is very reliable in nature in covert observations. Advantage of participant observation is that if I'm a researcher, I'm not standing, very far from the social setting. I'm a part of social setting. So as a researcher, when I'm part of social setting, interacting with the participants, I am involved in the activities that the participants are doing and then doing the observation. It gives me a very rich, in-depth data, good quality data. So that is good for my research. Next is advantage of non-participant observation. Now, non-participant observation is good in a way that when I'm standing as a researcher, when I'm standing far away from the social setting, I'm not involved in the social setting, means my perception is going to be very objective in nature. So whatever I observe, it is very objective. Because when I come nearer to I become a part of the social setting, I might become a little biased. I perceive things in a different way. When I'm interacting with them, my perception might change. So standing away from the participants, from the social setting, and then observing makes my findings more objective in nature. Next is the advantage of naturalistic observation. It is good in a way that in naturalistic observation, the participants are moving in their natural real world setting. So that means when they are in the real world setting, they are likely to behave in a very normal and natural manner. So there are no pretense or no fake behavior. So the ecological validity of my study is going to be high in naturalistic observation. Last advantage is advantage of controlled observations. In controlled observation, there are many factors, variables that are very well controlled. It becomes very standardized. It is an artificial setting where as a researcher, I'm taking care of so many variables, and the process can be replicated many a times. Even the other observers can, can do this experiment again and again. So the reliability is high, standardization is high, less of extraneous variables, and easy to replicate and even easy to compare. We are done with the advantages. Now let's do the disadvantages of observations. first disadvantage is of unstructured observation. In unstructured observation, like I told you, that all kinds of behaviors are being recorded by the researcher. Now, when all kind of behaviors are being recorded by the researcher, I am not considering any one, and I might, it becomes so difficult for me to record every kind of behavior. For example, I'm in this park and I see so many kids interacting with each other. There are around 50 kids in the park who are playing. It becomes so difficult for me to observe every kind of behavior. In that case, I miss some kinds of behaviors, so that becomes a problem for the unstructured observation. Next is the disadvantage of overt observation. In overt observation, the participants know that they are being observed. So the problem is that when they know that they are being observed, they might start, faking, pretending, and they are not behaving in their natural manner. For example, I go to this classroom and I sit there and I am observing all the students. Now, maybe those students are very naughty and, they are very indisciplined kind of students and they giggle and joke in the class and everything going on. But when they know that I am observing them, they might, pretend to be very disciplined, sit quietly and not laughing or giggling and not talking at all and showing the best of their behavior. So here my results are skewed. Next disadvantage of covert observation is that in covert, participants don't know that they are being observed, so it is less ethical, because a participant who is being observed, I'm recording a data on that participant has no clue that I'm in a part of a study, I'm being observed, so that's ethically incorrect. Next is disadvantage of participant observation. In participant observation, like we know that the researcher becomes a part of the social setting. So when the researcher becomes a part of the social setting, the researcher and the participant might become too close or too personal, and they're interacting too much about various things. So when there is a lot of interaction going on, there might seep in researcher biasness and the objectivity reduces in this kind of an observation. Disadvantage of non-participant observation. Now, though the researcher is not a part of the social setting, they are standing far away from the social setting and they are doing the observation. The objectivity is good, but then they might miss many things. They are not a part, they are not close to the social setting, they are far off. So when they're far off, they might miss many important things that could be important for the research. Disadvantage of naturalistic observation is that it happens in the natural environment, in the real world setting. It is very good in a way that people are behaving naturally, but the problem is that there are many variables that cannot be controlled by the observer, the extraneous variables. For example, I as a researcher go to this mall where I give you an example that the sale is going on and women are going all over the sale and they're so happy about the sale and they're shopping. But the thing could be, even if the sale is going on, maybe that day, that is the last day of the sale, and women are not finding good stuff and they're being grumpy and they're sad about it, they're not as much happy. So in my record, maybe I'm I write or I record that women are usually not happy when the sale is on. So that might skew my result, because there are a lot of extraneous variables that I'm not able to control in naturalistic observation. The last disadvantage of controlled observation is that in the controlled observation, that is kind of a lab experiment where I'm calling the participants, they are in the artificial setting and they know that they are being observed. In that case, I am able to take care of, a lot of control, a lot of extraneous variables, which is a good thing. But the problem is that participants might behave in a very social, desirable manner. They know that they are being observed. For example, these mall ladies. Now, I, put up good stuff in my lab and I call all these ladies to my lab setting and I say, see, this is sale going on. Why don't you buy things from here? And they know that they're in the lab. They are, being observed by me as a researcher. So they might not show that kind of excitement or the enthusiasm while shopping, and they might, be very sophisticatedly or very in their subtle behavior. So they might change their behavior, which is not natural, and this might skew my results. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and you can even tell me which lesson you want to study. These are the customized lessons of psychology. If you have not understood any topic at all, you can always make a request that which topic you want to study, and I'll make sure to upload that video the very next week. And in our next class, we are going to study correlation.